Hosanna bukole, hallelujah. Hosanna bukole, hallelujah. Hosanna.
My name is Ndinkabandi Isaac. For 30 long years, I have lived with pain, shame, and hopelessness. But this is not just my story. It is the story of every forgotten soul who has suffered in silence, waiting for a miracle that never came. Today, I open my heart to the world, not to beg, but to ask for one last chance at life. In the eastern part of Rwanda, in Kirehe district, there lives a man named Ndinkabandi Isaac. For 3 long decades, his life has been a constant battle against an illness that has stolen his strength, his dignity, and his dreams. It all began with what seemed like a simple swelling on his legs. At first, he thought it was just fatigue, maybe from working too hard in the fields. But as days turned into weeks, and weeks into years, the swelling grew worse. His legs became heavy, painful, and deformed. The once active man who worked tirelessly to provide for his family could no longer walk properly. He began to lose hope. For 30 years, Isaac has lived with severe swelling of his legs, a condition that has made even the simplest tasks impossible. He cannot move freely. He cannot work. Sometimes, he cannot even sleep. The pain is constant, both in his body and in his heart. Because of his illness, many people distanced themselves from him. Some called it a curse. Others said it was a punishment. But Isaac knows the truth: it is just a disease that needs medical treatment. Unfortunately, poverty has kept him trapped. He visited local hospitals many times. Doctors tried to help, but the case was too complicated. Finally, he was given a medical transfer, a recommendation to go to the military hospital in Kanam, Kigali, where he could receive proper surgery. That was supposed to be the turning point of his life. But then, reality struck: he had no money to travel, no money for the operation, and no one to support him. In his small home in Kirehe sector, Isaac lives quietly. The walls are old, the floor is bare, and the air feels heavy with pain. Each morning, he wakes up hoping that maybe, just maybe, someone will remember him. He looks at his swollen legs and wonders if he will ever walk normally again. Sometimes he cries, not because of the pain, but because of the feeling of being forgotten. He says, "I have lived with this illness for 30 years. I was told to go to Kanam for surgery, but I couldn't. I have no means. I need help. Please, help me get treated." Those words carry the weight of a lifetime. His neighbors in Kirehe know him as a humble man, quiet, patient, and kind. Many have watched his condition worsen over the years. Some try to help with food or transport when he has hospital visits, but their means are also limited. Isaac's family has suffered too. He once dreamed of building a better life for them, but now, even standing for a few minutes is a challenge. His children, who grew up seeing their father in pain, pray daily that one day someone will come to help. In his community, he is respected, not for wealth, but for his courage. He has never given up, even when hope seemed lost. Recently, doctors once again confirmed that surgery is the only solution. Without it, the swelling will continue, and the pain will only get worse. But time is running out. Isaac's body is weak. His legs are deteriorating. He fears that if nothing is done soon, he may lose them completely, or even lose his life. That is why today, he comes forward publicly, asking for help. Not for luxury. Not for comfort. But for the simple chance to be healed and walk again. He says, "If I could get treated, I would work again. I would take care of my family. I just need one chance to live like others." To everyone watching or listening, this is where you come in. You may not know Isaac personally. You may have never been to Kirehe. But your kindness could be the reason he stands again. Imagine living 30 years in pain, unable to move freely, unable to earn a living, just because you cannot afford surgery. No one should suffer that long. Even a small act of generosity can change his life forever. It could pay for transport to Kanam. It could pay for medicine. It could pay for the operation that ends his suffering. Every contribution, big or small, matters. When you look at Isaac's face, you don't just see a patient. You see a fighter. A man who has refused to give up despite 3 decades of pain. You see someone who still believes in the goodness of humanity. He doesn't ask for pity, he asks for a chance. And maybe, just maybe, your heart is the key to that chance. From the hills of Kirehi, a man cries out. Please, help me. I want to live without pain. I want to walk again. Let's not turn away. Let's prove that compassion still exists. Let's stand together and help Ndinkabandi Isaac finally find healing, after 30 long years of suffering. Because sometimes, the greatest miracle is not found in hospitals or medicine. It's found in the hearts of people who care. This is the story of Ndinkabandi Isaac. A man who has carried pain for 30 years, and who now carries one last hope. That somewhere out there, someone will hear his cry.